Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Melissa and you are joining me for the MoneyHoney series. If you have not watched the introduction video, please do so. I will have it linked below or put it up above in a card. So go and watch that first because you'll get a little bit of context about what we're going to do in this video. This video is the very first video in reaching our first MoneyHoney's achievement, and that is to understand your income and expenses and build a monthly budget. So this video is going to be all about understanding your income, and there is going to be homework to do because I'm going to leave you with some tasks to do to get all your information about your income for next month. Whenever you are watching this, we are going to be building a budget for next month. So for all the tasks that I give you, don't think about it for the month we're in now. Get it together for the next month because we're going to work on building a budget for then. I'm also going to put all of the homework and tasks that I give you down in the description bar below so that you can find all the information there as well. As we build our monthly budget, which is going to be our primary tool for keeping track of what we plan to spend in a month and then what we have actually spent in a month, we're going to need to understand what our income is. This might seem like it's easy. Your income is what you make, right? What you bring home from work. But it can be a little bit trickier than that. Let's start by understanding a couple of terms. The first is your gross income. And gross income is your income without anything taken away from it. It's all in there. So I think of it as like everything stuck together. It's kind of gross. It's the big number. So if you get hired to a new job and they tell you, congratulations, you're going to be making $60,000 a year. $60,000 a year is your gross income. And if you break that down, $5,000 a month would be your gross income if you are making $60,000 a year. But you and I both know you are not going to get a check to take home that actually equals $5,000. That's the top amount that they tell you you're making before they take everything off and you actually get to take your money home. So the actual money that you have deposited into your bank account or are given on a check to take home from your employer is your net income. Net income is the income that you have after your taxes are taken away, your retirement, any healthcare items that are taken off of your paycheck, and other things like perhaps parking, charitable donations, all that stuff that comes off unemployment. After all that is taken away, the actual money that you have to work with each month is your net income. If you are paid monthly or bi-monthly, it's going to be easy to understand what your income is each month because it's going to be consistent. I'm fairly lucky that I am paid bi-monthly, which means I get a paycheck pretty much on the first day of the month and the 15th of the month. It actually does vary throughout the year because of different amounts that are taken off for taxes and unemployment, things like that. But generally, I know I get a certain amount each month because it's just going to be 2 paychecks. If you are somebody who is paid bi-weekly, which a lot of people are, you are going to have a little bit more variation because there are not exactly 2 paychecks you're going to get each month. There are going to be a few months throughout the year where you're going to get 3 paychecks. Some people will have you build budgets with an average of what you make each month. I want you to build a budget for every single month that actually accounts for the income you are making that month and what you are actually planning to spend. So what I want you to do is look at the upcoming month if you are paid bi-weekly and see how many paychecks you are going to receive. What I would also like you to do as homework for this video is to look at your paycheck and see what deductions are coming off of it before you get to that net monthly amount. You are going to have some things that you can't do anything about. You're always going to have taxes taken off. You are always going to have certain government fees and things taken off of there. But sometimes you might have signed up for a retirement plan where you told them how much to take off of your paycheck. I know for me, I have parking at work that comes off of my paycheck, and I also make a charitable donation through my workplace. So if I was finding that it was a very tight budget that I was making for the month and I needed to find some wiggle room, I actually would be able to reduce some of the things that were coming off of my paycheck to give me a higher net monthly amount. I don't necessarily want you to change anything on your paycheck. I just want you, after watching this video, to understand how much money you're going to be bringing in next month that's actually going to be coming into your bank account, and understand what taxes, fees, and deductions are coming off of your paycheck. Now, I've been speaking about this so far, assuming that the income that you have coming in is from doing one job and getting paychecks from that job. But that is not necessarily all of your income or even how you're receiving your income. This is going to be a little bit more work if you are working a few different jobs, because you're going to have to look for each job at how you are being paid and how much you expect to get next month. If you're working a job where you are paid hourly and you get a certain number of hours, you might be thinking, I don't know how much money I'm going to get next month. I just want you to make your best estimate and maybe estimate a little low. So for example, if you generally get about 10 to 12 hours a week of work at a part-time job, perhaps look at next month and estimate what your paychecks will be if you work 10 hours each week. It's a little bit easier to budget with the assumption that there is a little bit less money coming in and then be able to add some funds to that in the month than to have to find places to cut as the month is going on. And we're going to get into all of how you actually manage the budget through the month later. Just for now, just looking at income. I want you to think of all the places that funds are coming in. Paychecks, but also, do you get bonuses? Are you expecting any next month? If you work in a service profession, are you getting tips? I am not going to let you get away with taking cash tips and spending them on whatever you want. If you are somebody who makes tips in cash, you need to collect that and you need to estimate how much you're going to get next month, because we're going to include that in your budget. If you receive child support or spousal support, estimate how much you're going to receive from that next month. Perhaps you might be receiving government refunds or government support. Make sure you include that. If you have investment income, that becomes part of your income for next month. It might be that you are receiving retirement funds or a pension instead of a paycheck, or perhaps in addition to. Make sure you count that. There's also rental income, anything you might be making. I want you to look at every single dollar you have coming in so that we can use that to build a budget. I want to pause this point as well, because if you are somebody who's very new to this, you might be feeling a little panicky at this point. I know when I was not in a place yet where I was managing my money very closely, I did not want to look at anything that had to do with money because it was making me pay attention to it. I understand that panic feeling. There is the idea that if you're something you're nervous about and you just ignore it, then you don't need to worry about it right now. But what I would say to that is, each day that you ignore it, perhaps you think, I'm just not going to look today. I'm not going to open my bank account. I'm not going to look at my pay stub. I'll do that tomorrow because today it's going to stress me out and it's just not going to feel good. But then tomorrow, that anxiety is going to be amped up one more step because you've spent one more day not looking at it. Take a deep breath and look at it, because it's the only way that you're going to start feeling comfortable about this. And I can tell you that I have gone from a point of feeling very scared about money and just ignoring it to a place where I do a couple of minutes of budgeting and keeping track of what I've spent each day. And it's not a big deal. There are no surprises for me because I pay a little bit of attention to it on an ongoing basis. So just take that deep breath and just do the tasks I'm asking you to do. Look at your paycheck, estimate how much money is coming in next month, look at all of your possible sources of income, and that's all I want you to do for now. That's it. I hope this doesn't feel too overwhelming to you. This is the very small first bite in chewing away at getting a budget done. In our next video, we're going to be getting into your expenses. We're going to be spending a little bit more time there because there's more expenses you have to deal with, and we're going to be talking about how you look at that side of your budget. And then after that, we'll be bringing it all together to build a budget for next month. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe, sign up for alerts, because then you'll know when my next video is coming up, and take a look at the playlist, watch the introduction if you have not done that yet. Give this a thumbs up if you have a chance, so I know that somebody is watching and paying attention. And I will put all the information that you need to know down below in the down bar. And thank you for joining me. Have a great day.